Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Tom Johnson begins now.
Anthony Albanese has praised our state's generosity during the bushfire crisis. The opposition leader visited Machine Cafe in Hobart, which is donating today's staff wages to charity during a visit to Tasmania. It's one of many appeals being held to raise vital funds. He says the sight of people helping others they've never met is inspirational.
This is what mateship looks like. People who mightn't have met anybody who's directly affected, but who are putting their hands in their pockets to help out their fellow Australians.
Mr Albanese remains in the state until tomorrow. The state and federal governments have announced disaster assistance funding to help pay for the cost of fighting bushfires at Pelham and associated recovery and clean-up expenses. Provided under the Commonwealth State Disaster Recovery Funding Arrangements, financial support will be provided to the Central Highlands and Southern Midlands Councils to assist with road and infrastructure repairs. This funding is in addition to financial support already announced for the communities affected by fires at Fingal. There was a wave of emotion at Launceston Airport today as Tasmanian firefighters returned after helping interstate crews control damaging blazes. Those on the front lines say the fires are some of the biggest they've ever witnessed.
Firm in the grips of a large fire, bushland on the New South Wales south coast is turned orange. Properties under threat as nearby smoke billows into the air. These were the conditions Tasmanian firefighters walked into when they put their hand up to help.
We did see a lot of devastation. It was quite confronting to some people.
39 volunteers flying to Nowra in New South Wales to relieve local crews, some who have been fighting fires for months on end.
They're so fatigued, they're so burnt out, they need the rest.
On the ground, their job was to assist with backburning. Not glamorous work, but highly valuable.
Without those containment lines being strengthened, there is risk that the fire can further spread or merge with other fires and then threaten other townships that haven't been impacted already.
Today, the 2 strike teams returned. The airport, a public display of hugs and kisses as families were reunited.
I did miss my family. It does take a big toll being away.
A luxury a handful of brave firefighters didn't receive.
We heard that only yesterday another firefighter was killed in Victoria, and it's awful, but you know these fires are not going to put themselves out.
The focus now shifting from mainland blazes to those burning on our doorstep.
Our season is starting to ramp up now, I believe, so we'll be unfortunately waiting for the next one.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
2 people have been charged with trafficking a controlled substance after evading police in Hobart's northern suburbs last night. Police patrols noticed an unregistered vehicle being driven in North Hobart just before midnight. The 23-year-old female driver and 47-year-old male passenger were arrested at the scene, with a search uncovering a trafficable quantity of the drug ice in their possession. The female was also charged with resisting arrest, unlicensed driving, using an unregistered vehicle, possessing a dangerous article and evading police. The pair was bailed under specific conditions to appear in court at a later date. A unique Design Tasmania exhibition is showcasing the sweat of high-performing athletes in a way never seen before. The perspiration of ballet dancers and football players has been crystallised to examine the impact the human body has on the planet.
We're standing here in an exhibition that is going to challenge, confront, inspire and potentially freak you out.
The Body Future exhibition also presents a collection of dust samples from everyday living spaces. The display will open to the public on Wednesday as part of the Mona Foma Festival. The sleepy town of Signet has been transformed this weekend by the sound of music. Thousands travelled from interstate and overseas for the 38th Folk Festival, with the 3-day event offering something for everyone's taste.
Families gathered outside to enjoy the best the Signet Folk Festival had to offer. With perfect weather, The acoustic melody rang out across the town.
The best program yet. We've got, we just get applications from the most extraordinary world-class performers, as you've just seen.
While this year's event hosted plenty of local and interstate offerings, performers also travelled from across the globe to play at the festival's eclectic venues.
To be in Tasmania is very exclusive to us, and this is our first time in this beautiful country.
The 3-day folk extravaganza is expected to have brought more than 6,000 people to the Huon Valley. Festival passes sold out yesterday, with the flow-on effect for tourism anticipated to continue for weeks to come.
The venues have been packed, and it's just a lovely buzz around town. It's a very sort of gentle feel, but just great music happening here, there and everywhere.
While music was the main offering, there were plenty of other family-friendly activities on offer, including face painting and discussion panels. Festival goers were impressed with the program's variety.
Oh, it's great. Good vibe, good people. Music is awesome. Yeah.
I've been coming here for 20 years or more, and I love it,
For others, the highlight was driven by their appetite for something other than music.
What impressed us as Italian is the food. The quality of the food is very good.
What have you loved the most about the festival today?
Donuts.
The festival finishes tonight with celebration concerts and will be back bigger and better next year.
Now it seems like time passes us by.
Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmanian News.
The Hobart Hurricanes' BBL finals chances have suffered a huge blow after a narrow loss to the Sydney Thunder last night. Batting first, the Canes set 163 for victory, but a 96-run first wicket partnership between Alex Hales and Usman Khawaja helped the Thunder chase down the target with 2 balls to spare.
With a record of 3 wins and 4 losses, the Hurricanes needed a victory to remain in touch with the final spots. Sydney won the toss and sent Hobart into bat. Matthew Wade and Caleb Jewell keen on making a quick start.
Goes a little lap, short fine leg is up and it'll just fall short and into the rope as well. It's very quick here. Another one through. Really well timed as well. And that'll be a chase.
Wade was first out for 16, Alex Ross taking the catch. Jewell kept the run rate at around 8.5 and over in the power play, but he was back in the sheds in the 8th over. It was a nervy few overs, with veteran George Bailey dropped on 9, while Malenko was bowled for 17.
Knocks him over. Beautifully bowled.
As the game tightened up, Bailey decided to turn back the clock with back-to-back sixes.
And again, see you later. Same result.
Ben McDermott also getting involved.
13, and it goes long. That'll be way over. They need a bit more of that.
Their 64-run 4th wicket partnership helped set up a solid target of 163. In reply, Thunder openers Alex Hales and Usman Khawaja were keen on chasing it down in quick time.
Flies over the top. That'll help. That's all. Goes for that. Good strike. And goes over the top. Gives himself some room.
The duo racing to 96 within 11 overs. But when Hales departed for 55, the Hurricanes found a spark. Khawaja departed soon after thanks to a good catch from Nathan Ellis in the deep, while Ferguson was trapped in front for just 7. And when Quays Ahmed removed Matthew Gilkes, it was suddenly game on.
Yes. Bowled in, straight through him.
However, Alex Ross steadied the ship with some late power hitting. Sealing the win was just 2 balls to spare.
And it gets through. It's a win for the Thunder. The first one here at the Showgrounds.
The Hurricanes' next match is at home to the Perth Scorchers tomorrow night. You can see it here on 7 from 7 p.m. John Hunt, 7 Tasmanian News.
Excitement is building for a group of Tasmanian cricketers heading interstate to test their talents against some of the country's best. The state squad will compete at the National Inclusive Championships and is doing its bit to help those affected by bushfires.
For these cricketers, this moment has been a year in the making. Their kit bags bound for Melbourne ahead of this year's National Inclusive Cricket Championships.
They're definitely excited. They're keen to get over and everybody's chomping at the bit, so it'll be great to get them over there.
The squad has been training hard since last August as they prepare to battle against the country's top talents in 5 2020 matches.
Well, we always finish fifth, but we've got a much stronger side this year and hopefully we can get into the semis.
The men in green will look to Australian representatives Connor Shepherd and Justin Nyland to lead from the front at the crease.
It's just so amazing that there's a pathway for people with a disability to play at a state level.
Their hunger for success also fueled by the impact of destructive bushfires across Australia. They hope to sell 1,000 stickers to raise money for those doing it tough in disaster zones.
The idea is to place them on our bats, so we're just trying to do our little piece for Australia.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmanian News.
It was a historic day for the Cadbury Marathon, with both the men's and women's race records being smashed. The men's winner becoming the first to finish under 2 hours 20 minutes, while the women's winner is now focusing her attention on the United States Olympic trials.
As the sun rose over Claremont, hundreds of runners were ready for a grueling 42-kilometre test of strength, pace and endurance.
3, 2...
Some were running to win, others for a personal best, while a few were going about it in an unusual way.
Now, just the scale of the event, we had over 900 people travelling interstate and internationally to be here today, and you've seen just the number of people out there, it's fabulous.
The men's race was no contest. English-born local Nico led from the beginning and never looked back. He crossed the line in 2 hours 18 minutes and 30 seconds, breaking the record by 5 minutes.
I just had this target of under 220 in my head, so I just had to go out at sub 320 pace and just so from the gun, off I go.
In the women's, it was triple delight for American Katie Conlon. She won the race, recorded a personal best, and also broke the race record.
If there was someone worth, to race against, I would definitely race, but I was really just focused on hitting my splits.
Her finishing time of 2 hours 42 minutes 42 seconds, also securing her a place at the US Olympic trials later this year.
Going to listen to my body and see how we go. Might have to take a week or two off of running before I get back into it, but yeah, just kind of take it one day at a time.
In the half marathons, Rio Olympian Millie Clark started her season off on the right note, winning in a new record time. While in a thrilling men's race, Victorian Brady Threlfall snatched the lead from David Ridley at the death to take first place.
Literally together at the top of the hill, and everything that I put into him in the finish there was all in the last kind of 200 or 300 metres.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. 26 was the state's top today in Launceston, 23 across Hobart and Burnie, and Devonport reaching a high of 22. 19 about Flinders Island, and Strawn temperatures reached 20 in St Helens and Lyowini 18. On the close-up, low-level cloud about the southwest with clear skies elsewhere. Further out, a cold front is to the south of WA with cold, unstable cloud to follow, while middle-level cloud extends over central Australia to the east coast. Tomorrow, the cold front will cross waters south of the Bight with a weak high forming. Northeast to northwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots tomorrow, swells up to 4 metres in the west and south and below 1 metre in the north. A strong wind warning is current for lower eastern coastal waters from Wineglass Bay to Tasman Island. Tomorrow's forecast now 29 and partly cloudy in Hobart, Dover 26, 33 in Ouse. In the north, a mostly sunny 25 in Launceston, Devonport partly cloudy 24 in Scottsdale. Mostly sunny in Burnie tomorrow, Strawn 25, 20 in Stanley. St Helens 23, sunny in Swansea, and Ross a high of 27. The UV forecast mostly extreme 12s across the state. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast, Tuesday fine with southeast to northeasterly winds. Wednesday showers more likely about the south with the chance of thunderstorms, and Thursday showers and southerly winds. Capital cities, a sunny 35 at Perth tomorrow, smoke haze about Melbourne and Canberra, and Sydney 25. And it's currently sunny right across the state at the moment. Hobart 18, Launceston 22 and Devonport 19. That's all in weather tonight, Tom.
Beautiful days. Thank you very much for that, Jackie. Well, that's all your news for now. Enjoy the cricket. Good night.